Hello everyone, welcome to Halo Moon Tarot. This is your weekly singles love reading for Gemini. How are you guys? Let's see what's coming in for you, singles. Single Gemini, new love prospects, connections, anyone you're dealing with. What is it you want to know? So we have a person here who, see, temperance. Someone's trying to be patient. Yeah, this person could have a different temperament too. It's someone who makes a romantic gesture or they ask you out for a cup of coffee. This is often a person who's apprehensive. They're often even not really sure how they feel because it is a page. So something might feel a little off with this person. But often with patience, this is someone who, can start to feel a little more confident. But yeah, somebody with a different temperament. And if there's a need for patience, yeah, I definitely see long-term stability. There is apprehension. Now, this is often someone who's stable financially. I see family legacy, but it's long-term stability. So something feels a little off, I feel. Yeah, charting the course. This has to do with whether this is even going to go anywhere. Yeah, I see you trying to be patient, though. Good things take time. So if you can be patient, it is possible. Sometimes people are apprehensive, especially if they're stable financially. They're a little, especially family money, legacy. Could be someone who's self-made. Often Emperor's in that energy. But this is a person who, like I say, they make some kind of gesture, It may appear to seem romantic. And I feel it's generally the intention, but this is often someone who isn't really sure, how interested they are, where this will go. Yeah, if it'll even go anywhere. But I feel, like I say, it's just a person with a different temperament. So it's all about perfecting balance, taking a step back, looking at things a little differently. Yeah, because you could actually connect with this person. But someone's feeling, whether someone's actually interested or not, or they may lose interest. It may not go anywhere. But I do see choices here, charting the course. So there's always this decision here. Some of you could have a couple people. Yeah. Only fools rush in. So this is somebody who's definitely not a fool. They're not rushing in. They're looking before they leap. So yeah, if you feel this person's not interested, I feel like they are, but obviously they've made some kind of gesture. Do you want to go for a drink, cup of coffee? Do you want to get together sometime? That kind of energy. But yeah, only fools rush in. So this is someone looking before they leap. So yeah, I wouldn't run away too soon because I do see making a connection here. See, good things take time. Being patient could pay off. Yeah. So you're trying to manifest what you desire, your dreams here. See, it's an energy of someone who's keeping someone waiting. They're keeping you hanging. You're not sure how they feel, but that's another energy of starting to lose interest. You may be, feeling like you need to go off on another path here. Gemini. We have some Sag energy. Yeah, look at that. I was just about to, we got radiant energy. See, there could be someone new coming in. If you feel like this person has lost interest, it's not going anywhere. Like I say, they could have another person coming in, but I do see this radiant energy. See, it's energy of being patient, waiting for what it is that you want, what you're manifesting. Whether this is the right person or not, if they're even your type, they may not know. So this is a person who's really actually being cautious. Yeah. Tell me more about this Page of Cups. Yeah. It's about putting in effort. So it has to do with this person putting in effort. Yeah, there's two sides to these cards. I'm just going to take them as I generally do, unless something feels a little different here. And I do see this person here is something feels off, but yet something feels right. So like I say, there's apprehension. It's about this person putting in effort. This is someone who's maybe worked hard to get where they're at too. So that's often when people are kind of, they're not being a fool. Only fools rush in. So that's what I feel. This is somebody who's been doing a lot of work, no play. And I do see it's time to play. If they're not putting in effort, you may decide, like I say, you may lose interest. Yeah. A little aha moment here. See, this is an energy of a little awareness, some insight into the situation, but I think you're going to have a little aha moment, and I do see possible victory. It is possible. It just might need a little patience here. But some of you, I definitely feel like you're going to go off on a new path, you know, or this person doesn't really know what they want, lacking direction. You may feel like walking away. Yeah. See, it's whether you're going to come together. It's hard to say, honestly, with this energy. Yeah, this is someone who needs to step up to the plate. Because I do feel like some of you are about to make a decision. Some Libra energy here. Yeah, 8 of Cups, walking away. See, this person has lack of direction. They don't really know what they want, where they're going. They just made this, you know, hey, do you want to go for a cup of coffee? But I feel like they haven't followed through yet. You're hanging. Yeah, it's all about putting in effort. They need to step up to the plate. Tell me about the 7 of Coins, because it is out with the old, in with the new. If they don't, and that's what I feel, you may make another connection. Yeah, so somebody here, it's about someone whose pride may be getting in the way. Because this is somebody who's stable financially. It's an energy of, you know, what someone's looking for. Yeah, 6 of Wands is someone's pride, but it is about planning, preparing, and hoping for the best. But I do think this is someone who kind of lacks direction. They don't really know what they want. Yeah, you might break free. Yeah, you may break free. And I do see new, out with the old, in with the new. And it could be someone who's just done this too. They may have just broke free from a situation. So like I say, sometimes a little patience can pay off. Yeah, I see a King of Wands here. Yeah, there's another energy of someone who's a little unpredictable. And it could be this person. A little unpredictable. It's often someone who doesn't talk a lot, or they don't say a lot at first. But if there is an energy of 2, there's also someone here a little unpredictable. It's like you can't predict what this person's going to do. King of Wands, somebody with pride. And this is an energy of someone here, pride getting in the way. It's often someone who likes being chased, you know. But you never know what's going to happen with someone like this. Tell me about this connection. Yeah, you've got this person, there's some curiosity. And I feel like it's yourself. You're curious, and you may be thinking of taking a leap of faith here, but would be a little bit cautious. Yeah, it's interesting energy. I haven't seen a reading like this for a while, but yeah, it is an energy of someone keeping you hanging. They haven't stepped up to the plate, so that's why I feel you're going to make a decision. Now, if you have a choice, I do see this other person, someone who's unpredictable, and it actually could be this person. Yeah, but it looks like there's 2, because we got this curiosity, this person who wants to know. Someone who wants to kind of, this is someone who actually wants to know everything. And you know what it is? It is 2, because that person is the one who's uncertain. See, they don't really know where this is going to go. They know they need to step up to the plate. I do think there's this awareness. They know what they need to do. They need to put in some effort, but this is about this person. See, they're curious. They want to know everything, where the other person is in this unpredictable energy. The pride before the fall. Yeah, someone's pride getting in the way. Maybe they felt they can't provide, or they just like the chase. Often it's someone who likes the chase. See, now the natural born leader's coming up. Interesting how that flipped the other way. Yeah, come up as unpredictable. King of Wands can be. You can never really tell what this person's going to do. But I do feel like you got a person who I do honestly feel there is someone who's going to step up to the plate. I do think this is someone who actually knows what they want, because they're curious. They're talking. They're talking, communicating. They're asking questions. They want to know everything. So that's somebody here. You can kind of tell what it is they want here. Yeah, it's all about, there's an energy of 3. Then I see people getting together, gathering, someone in the social circle. It could be online dating, social media, but yeah. I mean, they could be unpredictable, but I feel with this energy, it's someone who is going to step up to the plate. This is not someone, I don't think it's going to go anywhere. They're keeping you hanging. And it could be just getting yourself out there, socializing. Maybe you're curious about this person, and it is telling you to look before you leap, too. Only fools rush in. I wouldn't be surprised if you've got someone who's like that. You know, someone who's a little out of control, you know, they kind of come in very quickly. I see a possible Aries energy. Tell me about this people getting together. See, this is someone talking to people. They want to know everything. So they are someone who, I feel this person is the one who's actually going to step up to the plate. Ooh, but then you've got a King of Cups. Okay, never mind. It's this person who's going to, see, with a little patience. Oh my gosh, some of these energies. Yeah, this is someone emotionally available. So you got someone who's unpredictable, and then you have someone who steps up to the plate. Yeah. All right. I feel some of you got an energy of a few people here, and I do see Leo. I see Sagittarius energy. Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio. Yeah, we got all this 3. See, while you're waiting, see, you're starting to lose interest while you're waiting. There's someone else who's curious, who's actually interested. So someone here is actually going to step up to the plate. Look at that. There's a new chapter. This is someone who just kind of goes with the flow. But this is an energy of closing out a cycle. So this is the one that's not going to go anywhere. Yeah. See, often the King of Wands is someone who will step up to the plate when they're in the positive. See, this person's kind of coming in a little negative. But this, it's interesting with the Fools rush in. This person's not a fool. See, they're curious. They're talking to people. They're learning things. They want to know. But it is about putting in effort. They're not about to put a bunch of work into a situation if you're not interested. So there you go. Let's have a... So this person's actually interested. Tell me about this 3 of Wands, this waiting. Because this is often someone who loses interest, tired of waiting, the ship has sailed. But while you're waiting, there's someone here closing out a cycle or getting closure from another situation. But like I say, that's when somebody comes in. This is where new comes in. Yeah, this is someone checking someone out, so you may have a new perspective here. Saying to take a pause to look at this in a couple of different ways, but I see someone checking you out and you checking them out as well. Yeah, interesting. They are available. This is someone who's going to let it be known that they're available. Tell me more about this person. Yeah, I'm curious about this person. See, there's energy of 3, but this is either online dating, social media, or in your social circle. Tell me about this King of Cups. What does this person want? Ooh, they're the King of... they're actually a King of Pentacles. So there is a couple people here. One's unpredictable. It's hard to say where this will go. This person is the ultimate provider. So this is this person, someone who's stable. So they are no fool. They don't just rush into a situation. This is someone who takes their time. Yeah, they move a little slower, but the ultimate provider. And it's interesting because this person is available, absolutely. And they're stable emotionally as well as financially. So this is a person who's far more prepared. Yeah, it's an energy of someone who prepares. See, you've got a person who's preparing, and they are someone who likes to keep their life balanced. So they like to stay organized. They like to keep on top of things. Yeah, I do see a house and a home, celebrating union, some sort of offer, invitation. Yeah, they're going to step up to the plate. And you can see this is something not going anywhere. So I do see this moving on. But this is a end of a chapter, a whole new chapter. There's definitely this change, and definitely change for the better. Wow. Tell me more about the Ace of Swords. See, this is that Tower moment where something's sudden, a sudden epiphany, because you're going to look at this from a whole different perspective. Because they're actually, the person you're expecting to come in, you're kind of waiting. And I do think you feel something is a little off, right? Because they're keeping you hanging. Like, why did somebody try to start something if they weren't going to put any effort? you know, because it's somebody who doesn't want to build, but actually they do. This is someone who's worked very hard. They're dedicated to their craft. They work really hard over and over, right? Yeah. And then there's this Tower. So I'm going to tell you, you're literally going to dodge a bullet here because you've got this Mars energy coming in. Someone who comes in like a wrecking ball. The Fool rush in. This other person's not a fool. They take their time. They plan and prepare accordingly. Yeah. Strong Leo, radiant energy, someone who's high vibrational, but like I say, they're just kind of chill. Yeah. Yeah, they are. They got strength of will. They're confident. See, this is someone who's confident about what it is they want. They'll come in when they're ready. They'll come in and take control. The other person's actually interesting. They are going to be controlling. And you may actually have to put on the brakes with one of these people and take your power back. Because this person, one of them literally comes in. This is a narrow escape. So, and that's what it's showing. You're literally going to dodge a bullet here. Because this person's the one who's going to step up. Yeah, the other person doesn't really step up. Yeah, and you can see there's confusion, illusion, trust your intuition. See, I feel like you already know. This is someone who probably keeps secrets. They likely have other opportunities. They lack direction. See, it's like this person seems like they lack direction. They don't know what they want. They're just cautious. They're gonna just, let's just go for a cup of coffee. Let's get comfortable. And I do think you're going to be comfortable with this person. In fact, you're safe with this person. This other person's, they are the wrecking ball. Will turn out to be a disaster. Yeah. I think they are a disaster, but it's all about avoiding that, right? So let's have a look at that Tower. Yeah, so you're never going to get what you want from this person. Yeah. But the interesting thing is this is about emotional fulfillment. See, this is someone who's cautious. They're a little careful what they wish for. See, they're no fool. The other person's the fool. Yeah, this is definitely someone who's single. They look out for themselves. They're also checking you out, making sure you're single. Yeah, they're looking out for themselves. But I do feel it's interesting with this person. They are working very hard. And it could be someone who, they could be recently single. And sometimes it's a person who makes themselves single too. Yeah. But I think it's somebody who's very stable. They've been single a long time here. But the person who actually wants to be single is this other person because they come in like a wrecking ball. See, it's not going to go anywhere. And there's change coming. So if this is somebody by any chance who comes back around, they'll never change. Someone who's unpredictable. You never know what they're going to do. So maybe you've dealt with this person and already crossed paths. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. This definitely could go somewhere. Yeah, look at that gaining momentum. It'll start slow, then it'll speed up. Opportunity. Yeah. This is an energy of a person who likes to keep their life balanced. They don't like to get overwhelmed. But yeah, there is going to be gaining momentum. There's beautiful opportunity. I love this energy because it's showing this person once they feel comfortable, things will start speeding up. And some of you have been there, done that with someone. You've already crossed paths. See, you're out of here. And you are going to put on the brakes with this person. But the interesting thing is because of perspective, this person is confident. They're confident in all they do. They take pride in everything they do. Yeah. This other person's predictable where the other person isn't. Yeah. See, this is someone who's pre-manifested, prepared. See, they're just getting themselves ready. They want to make a good impression. They're hoping for success. Where the other person's kind of like, if they don't get what they want from you, they're going to go get it from someone else. Put it that way. Yeah. Yeah. This other person too, it's interesting, Knight of Coins. It's an energy of assessing. So it is an energy of taking it slow. I do see a feminine image here, but I mean, it could be yourself too, kind of assessing the situation. But this person is definitely doing that. They assess it, but they will speed up. See, they're planning, preparing, hoping for the best, but it's about moving forward. See, there's this past energy too. Could be someone moving away from another situation. And it has to do with whether someone's sincere. So I wouldn't be surprised if you assess this yourself. Because it's about you, what you're manifesting. I had to pause a moment and tidy up. This camera's taking a shift again. My goodness. All right. So I do feel it's possible you're assessing this, because I do see moving on from a situation. Somebody here wasn't sincere. This person is sincere. But it is about looking to see if the coast is clear too. Yeah, this is someone who reciprocates. They can be quite generous with feelings, emotions. They're very giving. I see giving and receiving, reciprocating with this person. I do see a celebration or a get-together too. This person isn't keeping secrets. They'll introduce you to friends and family. And it could go to that next level where they'll bring you into their circle. The other person, more than likely not. And even if they do, there's probably other opportunities. This person, it's funny how that come out. I'm glad it come out this way, because it really did show pride before their fall. Their pride got in the way. They weren't prepared. So this is someone literally crashing and burning. I wouldn't get into a vehicle with this person. I do have a sense that they can be a little reckless. Yeah. Tell me about the Four of Wands. This is someone laying a foundation. See, they actually come in right. There's this giving and receiving. They're receptive. And they're emotionally available. So, yeah. And it looks like you're going to have to... You've got a choice to make. So pay attention to the red flags, King of Wands. Yeah. Well, the King of Wands can be wonderful when they know what they want, but it's someone who doesn't really know what they want. So in fact, it actually could be this person, but like I say, it's like there's two perspectives, and it's showing these two people the different perspectives. But I do see this energy of having to make a decision, Gemini, feeling indecisive. Take off the blindfold and see. This person could be very charming, very sexy, and a lot of fun. And this person wants to rush towards second level, the physical connection, where the other person's more slow and steady. They're content to be friends. And I think you're safe with this person. I do think they'll make you feel comfortable. They're making their home comfortable too, like they do. I do see they want to get you alone, but this person's stable. They have a solid foundation. Yeah, so there is red flags here. Pay attention to the red flags. And this could be somebody here who just ended a situation, so they're kind of a little out of control. But it's all about your energy of what you're manifesting. So it's telling you to kind of prepare. Okay? Prepare. Yeah. It's about you getting away from this person. Tell me about that Tower. Tell me about the Tower. Yeah, the Queen of Pentacles. See, this is about grounding yourself, being sensible. It's about looking in the future. Do you really see yourself with this person? It's about making practical decisions. See, this is the two people, the couple that work together, play together. They stay together. They reciprocate. I see giving little gifts, doing nice things. They show you they like you. See, they're paying attention to you. The other person's more like, I get the vibe of like a bit of a show off. The pride, the ego, a big ego. But they are going to crash and burn because they come in very quickly. And I do think you're the person who's going to put on the brakes. You're going to take your power back. If you have Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn in your chart, it is about being sensible and practical. Yeah. It's funny, I just said that Taurus come out. So this is about how they conduct themselves. See, there's red flags. It's the way they behave, their lifestyle, their habits. See, I don't think you're in alignment with this person. Oh, they can be charming. Absolutely. Yeah, and if they have just ended something and they come in suddenly and they come in out of the blue, be careful what you're manifesting here. You might just get it. Not in the way you think, because that, like I say, it's like a wrecking ball. I think it's going to turn out to be a disaster. Yeah, see, they lack some of the qualities maybe that you want. They they might not even have a lot of money. Even if they do, they probably act like they don't. But no, it's more like the things they're lacking, the qualities you want, the lifestyle habits, the way they conduct themselves. And it could be someone who may not be faithful or loyal. But this is about grounding yourself and looking into the future. Do you really see yourself with this person? I think it's a person who really just wants to be single. They're just playing the field. They just like attention. They like all the attention they can get. Tell me about this Nine of Coins energy. Yeah, I see you going, thank you, but no thanks. Yeah, you're going to reject this person. I mean, they could reject you just to try and take your power away. But don't let that bother you, because they are a wrecking ball. Oh my gosh. Gemini. Red flags, indecision. Take off the blindfold. Yeah, take off the blindfold and see. And I mean, you may feel this person's charming, sexy, and a lot of fun, but the other person might be, I think the other person's a little more refined, to be honest. I do. I think you're out of here. Been there, done that. But yeah, and I do think this other person too, they like to plan and prepare ahead. They like to keep their life balanced. The one person comes in prepared, but it's what you're manifesting. It's telling you to prepare yourself. This person might end up ghosting you, but you're looking at their qualities, the things that they lack. And they might even ghost you and ignore you, like I say, where they suddenly put on the brakes. They're unpredictable. Yeah. So don't try to predict what's going to happen. Because I do see the subconscious, the moon, confusion, illusion. This person could have a lot of secrets too. Like, I do feel that. And I don't feel like that whole stepping up to the plate thing. Even if they do, they can pull the rug right out from under you at any time and leave you out in the cold. So I do think you're looking at all their qualities that they lack. I think it's maybe lack of morals, just lifestyle. It could be financial, but the other person's very stable, very grounded. You know, they can be very generous. The other person can be generous too, to be honest, they can. But this is a person who will spend like there's no tomorrow. That's what I'm seeing here. That's where some of this lack comes from. I really feel like you're just not going to be on the same page. Thanks, but no thanks. No longer interested. But they are someone, if they feel like they're not going to get what they want from you, they may rush, they may pull the rug out from under you and reject you first. Just let it go. Yeah, you'll get your opportunity to take your power back when you connect with this King of Coins, this person who's stable. Yeah. If you got Taurus in your chart, you may connect. They could be a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn energy. I do see Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio as well, but it's all about that emotional availability. Yeah, they're definitely open. This person, they just go with the flow. They're open to anything, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever makes you feel safe. Yeah, I like that person's energy. Yeah, they come in right too. They're fair. See, this is a choice. This is a choice you're going to have to make here. I think you know this isn't going to go anywhere. See, end of chapter. It's like you can already, if you're predicting anything, you can already see it's going nowhere. It's just going to end up ending. Yeah, and you can see end of chapter too. I wouldn't be surprised at someone who's recently divorced. Yeah, but you and this other person are going to make a connection. See, they come in right. They have good morals and values. They prepared. They look out for themselves. They're well groomed. You know, they just have those qualities. The other person, I feel, is kind of, I don't know. They're just not someone who prepares, but it's about you having to prepare and look at what you're manifesting. I think you're getting it here. Yeah, you're seeing the truth in the situation. You're going to do your due diligence. Yeah. And I do think and it is about having to make a decision, but it's telling you, you know, the red flags. And I do think the red flags are cautioning you with one of these people. Fun as they may be. But yeah, you are going to probably end up, see your intuition, but I do think you're going to end up, your subconscious is going to tell you, the downloads, the signs, the signals are going to caution you. And I do think you're going to become skeptical. Yeah. Yeah. See, it's all about putting in effort. What you're going to see and what you're learning is they don't put in effort. I do think both of these people work. And I just feel one person's spends their money wisely. They're more resourceful. They're more sensible. So there's more long-term stability, where the other person, I feel, literally, I feel, someone who spends their money, they're like a wrecking ball. They're just, maybe they like fast cars, you got the vehicle with the ego vehicle and all these things, right? They have a big ego. Very charming, though, and very funny. Yeah, they love attention. They like the chase more than anything. So yeah, so be careful what you're manifesting. Yeah. You can manifest what you desire. You have everything you need to manifest the person that you want here, but they could be a little manipulator, but I feel for the most part, they're not like a bad person. It's just they don't look before they leap. They rush in. They really don't have a lot of direction. They're kind of all over the place. You never know if you're going to hear from this person. Yeah. But there you go. And I do see issues with communication. Yeah. So you're going to get this cup. See, this other person's offering you a cup, an invitation. See, they're putting in effort. They're showing you. This person, so there is someone who's showing you who they are. Believe it. Okay? Yeah. And that's what I feel is happening here. But yeah, don't worry if they reject you, because that's often a sign of someone who's just trying to take control, that they're going to lose control. You can put the brakes on at any time, and I do see you feeling indecisive, and I feel like, it could be something that you've experienced with this person. Maybe you've already experienced this. I don't know, but I feel like you're going to be very wise. This shows you're going to be making a decision. It's all about who puts in effort, maybe what they do for work. See, the couple that work together, play together. See, you can work and build with this person. Yeah. I don't even know if you'd have to work with this person. They're very much a provider. But definitely this is, building together. Let me just have another quick look at that and we'll wrap this up. Tell me about the Eight of Pentacles. Yeah, this person has a lot on their plate. See, it's about lifting burdens off each other's shoulders. See, two people who are there for each other, offering a helping hand. If you need help from this other person, they won't be there. They're not reliable. This person's reliable. They have broad shoulders. They're confident, strong. They'll lift the burdens off your shoulders, but you're going to do that for them too. You're going to be there for each other. There you go. You got it. Look at that beautiful change. A lot of abundance and growth. See, it's saying just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. But I see you moving on from this, or just, to me, it just looks like change, and you'll likely just change your mind. But you can change your mind at any time. You can put on the brakes anytime. You're always in control of your own life. But the last thing you need is someone who's very controlling, and that's what I feel. You're manifesting someone to control you. Yeah, they like to control the money sometimes too. Even if this person makes money, they're always going to be in control of the money. I see that too. Yeah, see you, the two of you here. There you are right here. Take care. We'll see you soon.